So this is my propagator, and in there we've got some good-looking peppers under lights, and some good-looking other bits and bobs, like the celery's coming up. That's looking good. And here we have some what do you call them? Aubergines and some celery. It's all looking good, but this is not looking so good. These are my championship onions for the competition. I've got 5 more in the greenhouse. These aren't enjoying it. So it's a heated propagator with light, and it reads about 28 degrees. You probably can't see that. And so what I'm going to have to do is move them outside into the greenhouse. I'll show you the ones in the greenhouse and we can compare. One of the lads on the plot said, don't put heat under the onions.
I told you not to put those onions on the heat.
I should have listened. So as you can see, these are 5 more champion. I call them champion, and the reason why I've written that on there is so that I don't get them confused with my eating onions, which are the same variety. But what we did was we got 1 seed packet and shared them out amongst the people on the site who wanted to enter. So we each got 20 seeds. 11 of mine germinated, which might have been something to do with the way I was using heat. But anyway, these were sown later. Well, no, these germinated later than the like a lot of people. I'm a gardener whose seeds sort of germinate quite patchily, and so the first 5 or 6 went straight into the when they appeared, went straight into the heated propagator. These came up later, and because the conditions were a bit better, I put them straight into the greenhouse with an extra propagator lid on top, and you can see they're much healthier than the ones indoors. And this is, so at night it's going down to like 3 centigrade Celsius. Last night it was 7.1. It was the lowest, so it's good, you know, it's reasonably good conditions, but it's indoors, it's 30 degrees, and I would have expected it to be thriving under the light all night. I was expecting it to be thriving, but it's not. You might have noticed these new additions to the greenhouse. These Welsh onions. I've got some more up here. So yeah, these are divisions. So Welsh onions are perennials, and they keep clumping, and you sort of divide them up and eat them, and you keep, you know, one or two of your divisions to clump again the next year. And they stay green, unlike shallots. Shallots do the same thing, but unlike shallots, these do die back, but they come up really quickly again. So they'll die back the middle of November, and looking a little bit manky. I've just done them. I should have tied them up a bit. But yeah, they die back in the middle of November, and then spring up again in late Jan, middle Jan. Well, it depends what the weather's like. But as you can see, I mean, these aren't shallots, but they're pretty close to shallots. They're potato onions, which is an American big shallot. These aren't my biggest ones. This is sort of like the second biggest ones. But just like shallots, they divide up, and then sort of August time through till February, March, they're just brown onions like this. Whereas the Welsh onion, it grows greener for longer. It doesn't. The bulbs aren't as big, but they're basically a spring onion. You can chop them. You can cut them sort of a centimetre above the ground. Chop them up into omelettes and things like that, and then it will regrow in the ground. So a lot of people, even in YouTube land, take sort of spring onions you find in the supermarket and eat 3/4 of it, and then bung it in the ground again at home. Not all supermarket spring onions are Welsh onions, however. Japanese bunching onions are Welsh onions. So some spring onions in supermarkets are just ordinary onions, your bog standard, eating onion, and just picked early. But these, you can tell by the cross section looking down the leaf. So that's got a round cross section. I don't know whether you can see that. And this is a better example with the ones that have been chopped. They have a circular cross section. An ordinary eating onion that's been picked like a spring onion will have a D-shaped. It'll be flat on one side and then D-shaped, flat on one side and semicircular on the other. So that's what you're looking for if you want to build up your stock really quickly. Is get a load of cheap. See, if I see them on offer looking slightly manky, I'll pick them up. I have done in the past, and then you can plant them, eat them, watch them regrow, and then divide them again like any perennial. If you remember, I had last week I planted some coriander, 2 of which in a triangle like that, 2 of which were behind a copper collar, and 1 wasn't, just to test whether or not the copper collar works. Well, for 1 week it has worked, and the one that was here, well, there's about 6 or 7 seedlings in one little module unit. They've all been eaten by slugs. So copper collars, they do work. So but this path, because this has been full of weeds, and it's making its way, things like bindweed are making their way into the beds, so I'm digging up this path along here to break the cycle. Black root or mare's tail. So I'm turning it over, burying the weeds, but lifting out any perennial roots that are in there. good at spotting blackroot after a bit. So there's half a bucket of perennial roots there. Come out of this area here from about there along there. So that's it then, folks. That's my little. That's today's vlog. Let's see if the camera will focus on me. It's getting dark, you see, so it's having problems working out what's what. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.